Hey everyone, it's the Life Skills Guy, Mark Zuber. Have you ever had a kid who's trying to walk down the hallway the right way, but he has a problem? He keeps trying to touch everything, or when he does try to hold on to stuff, he just holds on with one hand? That's right. I have had those kids, and I've had those problems. But what are some things that we can do? Because one thing that we want them to do is become independent and learn how to use both hands, the helper hand and the dominant hand, and help them work together to different tasks. So they can get a job and they can help themselves at the house. They can become more independent. So what are some things that we can do to work on? Well, let's take a look, shall we? All right. One thing is you can give a pizza box. That's right. You can go order yourself a pizza. Maybe they'll even give you a pizza box for free. That's up to them. But you can use a pizza box. A pizza box is a great way for learning how to walk using both hands. Because you can also put nothing in it, so it's empty, or you can put some weight in it and make it a little bit more difficult for those types of, so you can accommodate your learners. But in order to walk down the hall, they have to walk both hands and keep it level, like as if they were going to carry a tray, maybe their tray for cafeteria. Maybe when they get older, they go somewhere and it's a cafeteria style, or you go anywhere else. They have to carry their food like this. Because if it's one hand, a lot of times they do this. And I know that's not going well, but you carry both hands and then they have to work on maybe setting it down. That's just one way you can use something that's so easily to find, and you can ask somebody for one if you don't want to get pizza. Somebody will have a pizza box for you. Another thing we do here is we also use styrofoam. And you're thinking to yourself, like, this styrofoam is ripped up. But exactly, it is in a way, but that's because we use it in different ways. And one of the ways that we use it is when we have kids who need it's really firm. So we have kids who cannot bend it. Sometimes in cafeterias now, they use paper, those very easily flexible type of trays, and we want to make it more firm, so when we're starting to practice, they can't just bend it together. So we put it, we can paste it on top, the tray, they can hold it right here, and they can walk like this. And what you can do is, as they get on, you can put things on top, and then they have to walk with things on top without dropping them and setting it down. So that is another way that you can do it. And here's some other ways. As they get different, you can change. As they get better, they work on that. There are different sizes. Sometimes they're smaller. Sometimes they're different ways. But you can see this is the way we had started. And you see how easily you don't want them to do this. So we would take the styrofoam and paste it on, or glue it on here. And then you can't bend it like that. So it makes them have to hold it flat. And we make them walk around sometimes the hall with like this, so they have to put on like a bottle of water or some other cans, so they have to balance them as they walk. So it's very important that they work on level, both hands, and they can't pinch anything on the side, because you don't want them to pinch anything on the side, because then they'll start doing this. All right? So that's another way. But you can start, depending on what age they are or what ability level are, they can start working on different size trays. And then talk with your cafeteria. And then finally, you can get to another tray. This is the hard plastic tray that's down there in the cafeteria sometimes. Sometimes you find them. You can get the TV type tray type things. The only thing I will say about this, and that we have learned, is the reason why we start with some of the less hard ones is because sometimes if they drop them, sometimes we have droppers, so they'll just go and they'll just drop them. It's really loud, and we try to minimize the noise as much for the other people, but it does get practicing dropping, and then they have to pick it up from the floor with two hands and bring it back up. But eventually you want to get to this. Now, the tape we have on here is a guide for them to make sure they know where their hands are going. And we're not going to pinch them on the sides. They're not going to hold things like this, but they got to keep it on level, and that's where their hands should go. All right. Now, These are just ways that we can do different things in a school to prepare them for independence. And you can do these things at home too. It is not just for school. But one thing that we do here is we talk with our cafeteria. We talk with those people that who are going to provide these items. What are they using there? What are they going to use in other places? And we try to get them prepared for this situation and other situations. So talk with your cafeteria staff. Talk with them and let's see what they say. Work with them. They will help you out, I'm sure, because what they want is to prepare them just as much as you do. And you never know what's coming down the pike. Sometimes they get new items in that you will find that you can use in your classroom to help with fine motor skills and to ADL skills. For example, we just found out they got a new soup bowl in with a lid. So that is going to be added to our repertoire. So my kids need to learn how to get those open without spilling the stuff inside on them. So always talk with your cafeteria staff, see what's the best for them, and you can kind of accommodate and work from there. All right, this is the Life Skills Guy. Thank you for stopping by. Please share, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.